Water is the source of life, home to Michael Phelps and the theater for a U.S.-China war. For years, despite its freezing cold water, the Indo-Pacific region has constantly heated up, all thanks to deteriorating U.S.-China relations. It's at an all-time low, and a war could break out any moment now. The two powers know this, and they are preparing for it. There are a million ways to win a war, and powerful warships are in almost every single one of them. China isn't at war, but if it got into one today, the world wouldn't be surprised. For years, the Asian power has promised to absorb Taiwan into its territory. Taiwan and the US have promised this will never happen, not on their watch at least. Both sides are ready to go to war to defend their promises. On May 24th, not too many days ago, China carried out strikes against Taiwan, albeit simulated. The simulated attack saw China's military surround the breakaway province and deploy multiple batches of fighters equipped with live ammunition and bombers. These attacks took place during a two-day exercise called Joint Sword 2024A. Away from the simulated world, Taiwan's military also reported a total of 62 Chinese aircraft and 27 naval vessels operating around the island nation on the night of the simulated attacks. This was a leap from the day before, when at least 49 Chinese aircraft, including the Su-30 and J-16s and KJ-500 airborne early warning and control planes, as well as warships and mainland forces, took part in the Joint Sword 2024A exercise on the day of its launch. China might well be preparing to take on Taiwan and the US. The US has the most formidable navy on the planet, with China a distant second. But it might not be so distant for long if China's military buildup is all that it seems. In fact, China's Navy already has the highest number of ships on the planet. For the US Navy to worry about that, though, China's hulls must not only be many, but also formidable. It would be a challenge, but it's a challenge China is ready to take on. The Asian world power is building and deploying ships at breathtaking pace. The Type 003 Fujian, the largest Chinese ship and the largest non-American aircraft carrier in the world, has begun its sea trials, just 2 years after being launched in 2022. Swift as that is, that speed pales in comparison to another Chinese warship making headlines today. A frigate, which was only first reported about 9 months ago, in August 2023, is now already on its maiden voyage. By virtually every standard known, this should be impossible, even if it took twice that time. Like that wasn't enough to send chills down some spines, the ship appears to be a monstrous sea creature. Revealed images show a main gun concealed inside a low observable cupola when not in use, a flight deck at the stern to host aircraft, and a vertical launch system array in front of the main superstructure. The ship has an integrated mast structure atop the bridge and does away with major fixtures on its superstructure and deck, including aerials. The ship's exterior shows smooth planar and faceted surfaces, canted inward above the ship's waist. It also shows an overall tumble-home design. Combine all of these and you get a stealthy warship, a really stealthy warship. China is building an ultra-stealthy warship that could be capable of escort missions, air defense, and anti-submarine warfare. But China isn't alone. The US has sailed these seas before and developed an entire class of ultra-stealthy warships of her own. To counter China's ultra-stealthy frigates, the US summons none other than the Zumwalt-class destroyers. The US currently operates the largest, most revolutionary, and most alien-looking destroyers in the world, known as the Zumwalt-class destroyers. USS Zumwalt, Michael Monsoor, and Lyndon B are the three students in this class. They are designed as multi-mission stealth ships capable of naval gunfire support, surface warfare, anti-aircraft warfare, and striking fear into the hearts of rivals. At $7.5 billion per ship, the ships of the Zumwalt-class are more expensive than every non-American ship, submarine, or aircraft carrier on the planet. And developing these ships was so major that almost every major defense contractor across the U.S. was involved in building them, from Lockheed Martin to Raytheon to Northrop Grumman to General Dynamics and so on. As a result, the Zumwalt-class ships feature the best of everything the U.S. has to offer, which is a lot. Here are some of them. Stealth. Zumwalt-class destroyers have a distinctive appearance that resulted from their need for a low radar cross-section, aka stealth. As a result, despite being 40% larger than their predecessors, Zumwalt ships have a radar cross-section akin to that of a fishing boat. They are 50 times harder to spot on radar than an ordinary destroyer, while remaining multiple times more lethal, more mobile, and more sensitive. Zumwalt-class ships are so stealthy that the Navy had to, by themselves, make them easier to spot by adding onboard reflectors. When in use, the reflectors would make the ships more visible to friendlies during times when visibility is required, such as when the ships are traversing busy shipping channels or operating in weather that's harder to navigate through. This unrivaled stealth capability allows the Zumwalt-class to operate closer to shorelines and in contested areas without being easily detected, providing a significant advantage against the opposition. Propulsion and power system. The propulsion and power system on Zumwalt-class ships provides much more electrical power for use than the systems of every other ship in the U.S. Navy fleet. The ships are powered by two Rolls-Royce MT-30 gas turbines and two Rolls-Royce RR4500 turbine generators that provide a total power output of 105,000 shaft horsepower. Such a propulsion system enables the Zumwalt-class to achieve Olympic gold speeds up to 30 knots. Impressive for 15,000-ton ships. The ship's turbo generators not only provide power to the drive motors, but also to all systems across the entire ship. These include automation systems that allow for a minimal crew size of 150 people, regular operational systems that keep things running smoothly, and an endless list of sensors, radars, and sonars that provide top-tier situational awareness. Armament. All three ships of the Zumwalt-class are equipped with a variety of advanced weapon systems. The first is the Advanced Gun System, which consists of two 155mm guns capable of firing precision-guided projectiles at long distances. These guns can engage both land-based targets and enemy ships with remarkable accuracy. Next, there are the two 30mm Mk-46 Mod 2 gun weapon systems, which are highly flexible to fire whatever rounds are available. Each Zumwalt-class ship also features 80 Mk-57 peripheral vertical launching system cells, which are larger than the Mk-41 cells found on most American destroyers. These cells can accommodate a moderate array of standard and specialized anti-aircraft, anti-ship, and land attack missiles, including the Tomahawk, the Evolved Sea Sparrow missiles, and the vertical launch anti-submarine missile. And it doesn't stop there. The Zumwalt ships are reportedly fitting to be the first ships ever to wield both laser weapons and hypersonic missiles, the latter of which has a short story behind it. It all began with a gun. It always begins with a gun. Many, many years ago, the revolution that is the Zumwalt-class destroyers extended beyond just the ships themselves. A gun, custom-built and tailor-suited to the specifications of the ships, was also developed. This gun is known as the Mark 51 Advanced Gun System, or AGS for short. The Advanced Gun System was indeed advanced. Their precision-guided long-range land attack projectiles could strike targets 63 miles away with the destructiveness of an explosive and the rapid succession of a machine gun. But there was a problem. The U.S. Navy was no longer buying 32 Zumwalt-class destroyers. It was now buying 3. This meant at 2 AGS per ship, they were no longer buying 64 AGS. They were now buying 6. Before these changes, AGS rounds were estimated at $35,000 each. After the changes, they became $800,000 each. Too costly, even for the United States Navy. The rounds, and therefore the guns they were made for, had to go. In their place, hypersonic missiles. Hypersonic missiles have been a buzz for a while now. They're easily the most unstoppable missiles in the world today. In 2021, the Navy announced its intent to install the new Common Hypersonic Glide Body Missiles, or CHGB missiles, on Zumwalt-class destroyers. A CHGB missile is a boost-glide hypersonic weapon by both the U.S. Navy and Army. The missile is designed to strike time-critical targets. Once launched, the CHGB missile accelerates skyward like a long-range ballistic missile. But unlike long-range ballistic missiles, it does not enter low Earth orbit. It instead remains in the atmosphere, angles sharply downward, and glides toward its target. The CHGB reportedly has a top speed 17 times faster than the speed of sound, and it can strike targets up to 1,725 miles away. Between the AGS and the CHGB, it appears Zumwalt-class destroyers will always be well-equipped to destroy. All efforts at peace have proved futile. The US and China cannot seem to agree over Taiwan. War seems imminent, and both parties are ready for it. Warships with stealth technologies that make them invisible and weapons with lethality that make them invincible have become the order of the day. This war could be massive, explosive. It could be anything. It could be everything. To ensure the best-case scenario happens, the US and China ask that you give this video a like and subscribe to this channel. So do that now. And thanks for watching.